What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Today, we are going to be discussing a Fightful Select report regarding Vince McMahon, WB talent morale, what they think he's doing, the changes that he's making to creative, them still being on guard regarding him just showing up at events. It is a fully packed report that we're going to dive into. So let's get into it. It's been nearly 2 months since Vince McMahon signed off on the acquisition by the Endeavor Group of the company, with the idea of WB and the UFC merging into a new company with a deal expected to be finalized later this year. Now, look, Vince McMahon was backstage at WrestleMania 39, then visibly backstage at the post WrestleMania episode of Raw, where he was making changes to the show. Now, since then, he hasn't appeared as often at WWE shows, but has continued to make changes to WWE creative. Now, look, when Vince McMahon was backstage at these shows, talent morale took a major hit as it seemed like things were going back to normal before McMahon resigned due to the hush money scandal and Triple H taking over creative last summer. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select reported that many people in WWE are in a wait and see mode after McMahon made his presence known. WB has assured talent that Triple H is still in charge, but McMahon has reportedly been making changes by remotely calling in and making heavy altercations, or not altercations, but alterations rather, to whatever Triple H came up with for creative. Now, look, talent has said they've been more flexible in regards to what they can and cannot say while dealing with WWE management about their promos as of late than when McMahon was, present and making all these changes to creative. Regarding talent morale, it was stated that it was high coming out of the recent European tour, with some saying it was the most fun they've ever been on, which is great because the European tour can be taxing on these guys and gals. Now, an interesting point to this, the report noted, and I quote, those that we've heard from say that things have improved significantly since McMahon was around, but they're still on guard at the possibility that he could just, you know, charge back in and be backstage, end quote. And the report went on to state that several people in WB believe that McMahon realized, look, when I'm backstage at these shows, it creates chaos, and therefore I should just opt to work remotely instead, which is probably a smarter thing. It sucks the fact that Triple H is propped up to be in charge of creative, the idea that he's in creative, but he's really not. And then, he's not running the ship as it once was, but it is what it is, and we have to deal with the fact that Vince McMahon is going to be in this role for as long as he's alive, essentially, because he made that deal with Endeavor.